Hey guys, so today's video is a little bit different. My first video like this. It's a tutorial video on how to make professional looking social media posts for your Twitch stream or your YouTube stream or anything like that. Or if you just want to make graphics in general. Just a quick post on sharing your social media platforms. This one in particular is going to be in 1200 by 628, which is great for Twitter, Facebook, and even Instagram. So yeah, this is just a quick tutorial on how to make a graphic just like this one so you can look a little more professional and stay on brand. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear that Adobe Photoshop is, you have to pay for it, you have to buy it, but it's only $10 a month, about the same cost as a Netflix subscription, and I think it's really worth it, especially if you do other things with photography or editing. Another thing I would also think about doing is getting Premiere Pro. It's going to help with doing video edits, things on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I personally don't have it just because I haven't gotten there yet. But Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom are only $10 a month in the same bundle. So for this video, I'm going to be creating a quick, simple, easy, creative image to share on basically every social media platform except for TikTok. All static image-based social media platforms. So to start, we're going to do create new. And the standard size for most of these sites is 1200 pixels by 628. It's just a horizontal rectangular image that you can post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram pretty seamlessly. So just for reference, this is my logo that I use. As you can see, the light blue, the light red, and the white. I had this made by a designer on Fiverr. It cost me $10. Basically, I already had the idea of what I wanted to do, and then just told them what I want to do, and they made it. You can find all sorts of great graphic designers on there. So just a reference of what I am going off of. And with that, the most important part of the image is obviously the background and having a background that you can put font on top of. So we are going to add this to our Photoshop file here. And this will be our background that we start with to create our graphic. Okay, so now that we have our background here that's on brand, consistent with our color scheme, we're going to want to put some text in. I use the Evogria text. I think it looks really nice, and you can use it italicized or just standard, and I think they both look good. So for this particular font, I'm just going to create a social media post. Just linking all of my social media accounts, and that way people that are following me on Twitter can then see my Instagram username or my Twitch handle, as well as my TikTok. And you can again post this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole gambit of social media platforms. Okay, so to start here, you're just going to have a basic title, tell you what the image is about, something that's a quick call to action so whoever's viewing the picture can tell what they're looking at without having to do too much. So I have to put like a bit of a title font here. I'm going to keep this simple. I'm just going to write follow me on all social media platforms. That way they can tell what the image is about. We're going to make this a little bit smaller and then bring it up to the top. Okay, and the next thing we need is to get the logos for all the social media platforms that we use. You can do this with a quick Google search. I will give you just a quick lesson. So you can just type in, and you want the PNG files here. So Instagram, logo, PNG, images. I always use tools and sort by large. That way you're getting the highest quality image. First one that pops up right here, there you go. You just gotta save this as a PNG. Some of these might not be PNGs, this one is. So you just save it as a PNG, download it, and then you can just drag that into the Photoshop file, which I'm about to do. Okay, so now that we've got all the logos that we want downloaded, all we're gonna do is just drag those into the Photoshop post. So Instagram, bring that down a bit, just for now. And then we're also gonna add in Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. These one at a time here. Worry about the sizing here in a second. Okay, so now that I've got those all downloaded, I want to figure out what looks right. And for myself personally, I have 2 different usernames on these platforms. So what I'm gonna do to keep it consistent is put the one username for Twitch and TikTok on the right side or the left side. And then for the other username, which is a little bit different for Instagram and Twitter, I'm gonna put that on the right side just so it looks consistent and a little bit more appealing to the eye. Okay, so now that I've gotten all the logos where I want them, I think it looks nice. I just kind of resized them a bit and put them in the order that I wanted them. Now it's time to add that text. So you're just gonna create a little text box here. And I'm gonna make it about the right size. Probably have to bring our font down a little bit. I'm gonna go to 14 and type in your username. So as I said earlier, my usernames are slightly different, so I'm going to keep it consistent. So align your username with the icon, copy, paste, and do it again for Twitch. Pick that up. There we go. And then my username is a little different for Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to bring that over, and I just noticed that this probably isn't going to fit. I'm going to bring my font down just a little bit more to 12. That way it fits on the image. Bring our font down to 12 here. And lastly here, as this word is a little bit longer, this username is, and I gotta add my underscore. Right there. And I just noticed that the logos are a little bit too far to the right for this to work. So what I'm gonna do, keeping it simple, is I'm just gonna align the text and then just bring the logos back a little bit. And Adobe Photoshop's great at making sure everything is aligned. So just like that, and then boom, beautiful. So you see right there, this is pretty simple. I'm gonna do one more thing here to spice it up just a little bit. So if this is good enough for you, you can stop watching right now. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I'm going to add one more thing that I think adds a little bit of flair to the post. So if you want to make things look a little more professional, a little better, super simple way to do that is just add some paintbrush strokes. So you're just going to Google Adobe Photoshop paintbrushes. And this is a good site to do it on. You just download whatever paintbrush strokes that you like. Super simple, download the file, extract it. Once it's extracted, it should pop up in your Photoshop paintbrush drop-down menu. So after you do that, you're gonna click on your background image that you want to put the brush stroke on. You're gonna click on the paintbrush icon right here. And then you are going to select the stroke that you want and the size. So I have a little over 1,000. I've got this brush stroke right here. I'm going to switch my color to white, and I'm going to put 1 right there. And then I'm going to take that same stroke and flip it around backwards and kind of overlap the two like that. I think that looks fine. And then I'm going to change the color of my text to a navy blue, again to stick on brand with my color scheme. And 2 more here. Again, if I didn't want to show you through the whole tutorial, I just would have started with the brush strokes and then put the text on top. But just for being, more tutorial organized, let me do it this way. So I think that looks decent. I think I'm going to add in one more brush stroke. Let's maybe a little different. Gotta select the background layer one more time. Maybe change this just a little bit. Oh, and I did not select white. So you're gonna want to select white again. And then I'm gonna put this right in the middle. Just add one more layer. And I might do a little splash. Great. There. So again, super simple, makes it look way more professional. Then you're gonna export the file, which I'll do right now. This might take a second, so we're gonna export this as a JPEG. Again, 1200 by 628. Make sure you do it at the beginning, that way when you're editing the picture in Photoshop, it's already the right size, you already have the right dimensions and all of that. You're gonna export the file, whatever folder you want. I'm gonna name this social media platforms 1200 by 628. And then that's going to export. And then you can pull up your social media platform. So I'm gonna pull up my Twitter for this example. So once you've got your post written out, you're gonna go into your pictures here, select the post that you want, the one we just made obviously. I always just double check just to make sure I didn't spell anything wrong. Again, you know, make sure it's professional and then on brand. I think it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that. I'm gonna add a hashtag. One that I like to do is small streamer community. And we are going to post that. And then one thing I wanted to show you, so when I originally created this graphic, I did 1080 by 1080 for Instagram feed because I just created an Instagram at the time, and I just kind of copied and pasted that for Twitter. This is what that looks like on the feed, and you can tell it's kind of cut off. So you have to click on the whole picture to see what it actually is. The difference here between the 1080 by 1080 and the 1200 by 628 is when you're scrolling through this on your phone or on the web, it's going to show everything in that picture in the preview. So it's not going to be cut off like this. So this looks much better, much more professional. I'm going to go ahead and pin this to my profile. That way it's the top tweet on my feed. And there you have it. Super easy, super simple, professional looking, on brand, something you can do for a couple bucks, or if you already have everything you need. Just a quick little informative video on how to look a little more on brand and professional.